good afternoon. My name is Haley, and today I'm presenting my aesthetic project. It is baking, and for this project I chose carrot cake cupcakes, which are here. So before I became a registered nurse and began working in the emergency department, which is where I've been for the past 3 years, working as a nurse tech, and a unit coordinator and a monitor tech. I worked for 4 years in a bakery as a professional baker. We did custom cakes, we did cupcakes, custom cookies. Basically, if you asked for it, we would figure it out. So we do brownies, cake pops, anything like that. So baking and working in a bakery that also served like breakfast and stuff as a restaurant was my first experience with serving others in a meaningful way. So even now that I'm working in the ER, I still love to bake. I bake for all the family events, and I have a 4-year-old daughter, and that is one of our favorite things to do. I love teaching her, and she loves making a huge mess. So that tradition reminds me that caring is both intentional and relational. I chose carrot cake cupcakes specifically to bake because they symbolize comfort for me. I grew up baking. I learned how to bake with my grandma. She passed away almost 4 years ago this year, and I learned how to bake from her, and she's also a really big reason why I chose to become a nurse. So it comforts me whenever I'm baking, especially some of her favorite things. One of her favorite things were carrot cake cupcakes. Baking also helps me relieve stress. I don't experience stress relief with things like painting or coloring, things like that. So I like this. I also like to be able to bring things that I bake to work because I feel like it's something positive and just kind of takes the stress out of a high-paced environment for a few minutes. So the process of baking these cupcakes mirrors nursing practice. Measuring ingredients requires precision, and it reminds me a lot of medication calculations and clinical assessments. And one of my favorite part about working in the ER is emergency medicine. If any kind of critical situation, I'm one of the first to always kind of jump on meds. And baking reminds me of like mixing medications, minus the very stressful situation. But so mixing all of these together can reflect how we integrate technical skill with authentic human connection. Also, working in the emergency department can sometimes feel task-oriented and fast-paced. And through this project and in my abstract, I reflected how easy it is to focus only on efficiency. Baking will help slow me down. It reminds me that caring involves presence, patience, and attention to detail. I don't have to rush through. You don't rush through. It gets hard with a fast-paced environment with patience not to try to rush through, but it reminds me to take my time, put in the effort, and pay attention to detail, essentially. So this project has helped me reconnect with the relational essence of nursing. Both baking and nursing require preparation, adaptability, creativity, and passion. So whether I am preparing cupcakes for my family, or just baking with my daughter, bringing something to work, or caring for patients in what is a lot of times one of the most stressful days, my goal is the same. I want to provide comfort and to make the person feel valued. So baking and nursing show that caring is not just something that I do, but it shows how I show up for others in meaningful, intentional ways. And you can tell in the end result in both cases. So I have some of my stuff out that I use for my project. I have the mixer, piping bags, different tips involved, star tip, circle tip, a million different kinds. And then one of my most common requests is carrot cake cupcakes, but again, I do all the birthday cakes and everything for all my family. So I really liked being able to do this for a project that is essentially about caring, because this is something that I care about very much, and it is something that you can get beyond creative with, which I love. So this is the end of my video. Thank you so much.